Trojan Sports Now.
Hello and welcome to Trojan Sports Now. I'm Jahmal Kennedy.
And I'm Khadijah Torbert. Stick around as we bring you the latest news and scores from Troy Athletics. For the second time in program history, the women's basketball team made an appearance in the NCAA Women's Basketball Tournament, the first in 1997. Their opponent in the number 2 seed Oregon State Beavers, who proved too much for Troy to handle as the Beavers won the first round matchup 73-31. The Troy offense never got going against a Beaver team that had 7 players 6'3" or taller. Ashley Beverly Kelly and Kristen Emerson led the Trojans with 9 points each. The Trojans shot a season-low 16% overall and made just 3 of 22 from long range. Head coach Chandler Rigby says that low percentage played a big part in the loss.
As far as my team, things could have been a lot different if shots would have fallen. But shots probably, it had a lot to do with it. Shots didn't fall because of their length and how skilled they are. So hats off to them. When you're a scoring team like that, like us, like that's what we hang our hat on, and you shoot 16%, you're not going to win a game, even against a bad team, much less against a very strong team like the one we played today.
The Trojans now look ahead to the 2016-2017 season when the only player they will lose is ABK. Troy will enter next season with 8 seniors on their roster.
Moving to the Diamond, as Troy baseball came from behind to win on Sunday, defeating Georgia Southern 8-4 to clinch the series over the Golden Eagles. Troy fell behind in the first inning but scored 3 runs in the third to tie the game at 3. In the fifth, the Trojans added 5 more runs to make it 8-4. Evan Hibbert got the victory for the Trojans on the mound as Troy pounded out 12 total hits on the day, with 5 different Trojans having 2-hit performances. Senior Peyton Fuller had 2 RBIs in the game, and freshmen Brendan Lockridge and Chase Smart, along with juniors Justin Friend and Stephen Whitaker, had 1 RBI each. Evan Hibbert tossed 7 strong innings, along with just 3 runs as he evened up his record at 2-2 on the season.
The Trojan baseball team returned home to face an in-state opponent, Alabama A&M. Jahmal Kennedy has the highlights from Riddle Pace Field.
The Trojan baseball team took care of business Tuesday night in 8-0 fashion as they defeated the Bulldogs of Alabama A&M at Riddle Pace Field. En route to victory, the Trojans nailed out 10 hits at the plate. Here's what Coach Smart thought of the victory.
Solid work, Jerry. I was pleased with the deal. We did what we needed to do. Our pitchers were effective. Corey struggled throwing strikes, had a little arm issue come up there in the third. Houston Mabry was great. Our bullpen did a nice job throwing strikes. And we had two nice innings. We didn't do enough throughout the game to stretch the game out, but the 8-run lead was comfortable and haven't had many of those. So I'll take the workmanlike performance.
It wasn't all smooth sailing as the Trojans had to replace starting pitcher Corey Gill with 2 outs in the second inning because of an injury. No worries, though, as Houston Mabry took care of business until his time was done in the 5th inning. The bats came alive in the 3rd and 4th innings as the Trojans put up 4 runs in back-to-back frames to give the Trojans all the runs they would need.
We did some good things. We left some people out there. We had bases loaded, nobody out, and it took a 2-out hit to get the 3rd and 4th run in there. We need to do better there. But
if there's one player that benefited from Tuesday night after struggling for most of the season, it was junior Joey Dennison, who had a 3 RBI performance.
Been working, been tweaking some things, but here of late they've been real competitive at bats, like you said, and I'm pleased with where I'm going right now.
Joey's one of our better hitters. He has been throughout. He's gotten off to, he struggled early, and then he kind of got in his own way a little bit, I think, mentally speaking. But he had a 4-hit night, a couple of 3 RBI game, and that's what he's capable of, Jerry. There's no doubt. We need his bat to get hot, and hopefully it'll continue.
Between Tuesday's starter and Gill and the bullpen, the Trojans struck out 9 batters while only allowing 5 hits. Jahmal Kennedy, Trojan Sports Now.
Joey Dennison led the way at the plate for the Trojans, recording 4 hits and 5 at-bats. Senior Peyton Fuller and junior Shaw Pennell had multi-hit nights as well.
Staying on the diamond, where the Trojans softball team had a monstrous weekend against Appalachian State. The Trojans swept away the Mountaineers and posted a school record 59 runs combined in 3 games. In Saturday's slugfest, Troy beat the Mountaineers 25-19. Troy set the school record for most runs scored in the game with 25 after setting the record in the second game on Friday night with 23 runs. Troy's Carly Kaler tied an NCAA record with 4 home runs on Saturday. Kaler finished the game 5 of 6, adding a lowly single with her 4 home runs. Freshman pitcher Peyton Glover was victorious in the circle, throwing 3 1/3 innings from the bullpen. Carly Kaler wasn't the only Trojan to touch them all multiple times in Saturday's matchup. Hannah Day went deep twice and drove in 6 runs on 4 hits.
To say the softball team had a great weekend. Sweeping Sunbelt foe Appalachian State would be an understatement. The Trojans had record-breaking final scores on the doubleheader Friday, 11-1 and 23-6, and Saturday, 25-19. And the excitement didn't stop there. Senior catcher and outfielder Hannah Day earned the Sunbelt Player of the Week announced Monday. And wait, there's more. She also earned both the National Fast Pitch Coaches Association and the USA Softball National Player of the Week. Both organizations announced recently this afternoon. Hannah Day currently leads the country with 48 RBIs. She is ranked third in the nation with 13 home runs, and to top it all off, her .915 slugging percentage is 10th best in the country. To put it in simpler terms, if the season ended today, her slugging percentage would establish a new Troy single-season record, about 120 points.
Right now I'm just trying to take it all in, but I wouldn't have had any of the success that I had this past week without my teammates. I mean, 20 RBIs, I can't do that without them. And my coaching staff, I mean, they've literally prepared us this past few weeks, getting us ready for these conference games. And I think we just came into this past weekend prepared and knowing that we're capable of winning, and it showed.
Yeah, it's one of the most memorable watching a player play in a 4 games, stretch that I've ever experienced as a coach. I mean, I barely said anything to her. I mean, she was seeing the ball like a beach ball, and I think she had 20 RBIs, which again, give her teammates credit for being on base when she was up there. But it was the most incredible, single performance I've seen probably in my career, and I thought she completely deserved National Player of the Week. And I don't think Troy's ever had a National Player of the Week, so just historically, I'm proud for our program and I'm proud for her. I mean, she deserves it.
In the opening game of the Sun Belt Series, Day went 3 for 3 with a home run and 4 runs scored.
Now the softball team is not the only team with major accomplishments. The women's golf team spent 2 days participating in the Sanford Intercollegiate in Birmingham, and starting Monday, the team broke records. First, the single round record by 8 shots, and the Troy Par 72 round record by 12 shots, which was the first under par round in school history. Going into Tuesday's matchup, there were 4 Trojans competing in the tournament: Bria Jansen, Kaylin Hudson, Abby Parks, and Antonia Poate. The Trojans entered Tuesday's final match with a 17-shot lead.
Well, Trojans, get ready because it's that time of the year again for the Trojan football team to lace up and march back onto the gridiron. Now, it seems like the season ended just yesterday, but believe it or not, spring practice is officially here. William McCarthy takes us to the sidelines for all the details on the Trojans' first spring practice.
Troy football gears up for the start of spring practice under head coach Neil Brown. Even though it is just spring practice, the team showed energy to compete for every spot on the field.
Good first day. I thought we had really good energy. It helps because we had a lot of fans here. All our practices will be open, and I thought our guys had good energy, which is expected on day one. It'll be interesting to see how we follow up on day 2 and day 3.
With this year's signing class, some of the players are already here on campus for the start of spring practice to get their feet wet in college football. Brown says it's hard to tell at this point of how they are handling things.
It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. We're playing 2 true freshmen. They're high school seniors. They're playing quarterback right now with our second group. So their heads spinning a little bit, but it was fun. We're better. How much better? I don't know. I think it's to be determined, but we're better.
Some of the players were excited to get back onto the gridiron and compete with their fellow teammates after a long off season.
Oh man, it felt really good. We were slow in a few areas, but we expected that being that it was the first day. But I felt a lot of the guys came out. We competed pretty good. We could raise it just a little, but everybody was pretty in tune. We all buying into one system, so it was pretty fun.
It's good. I think it got better as practice went along, and it was rusty at first, but practice went along and went pretty good.
Even though football season starts in September, there is not a time limit to relearning the fundamentals. Coach Brown says that is one of the many reasons why spring practice is his favorite part of the football calendar.
Well, that's spring practice in a nutshell. As a coach, this is my favorite time, and I tell our staff that. I did a bunch of interviews yesterday, and I told them this is my favorite time. I really enjoy this. There's no preparation for games. This is base teaching, and that's my entire background. That's how I grew up, and I enjoy that aspect of it. I enjoy teaching. I think all our coaches enjoy the teaching aspect of it.
The next practice is on Thursday at 4:30, and it is open to the public. William McCarthy, Troy, Trojan Vision Sports.
The first game for the Trojans will be right here in Troy on September 3rd against Austin Peay.
Troy's track and field team finished their competition at the John Mitchell Alabama Relays on Saturday. Junior Karina Cox finished second in the discus on the women's side, and on the men's side, junior Zach Douglas got third in the shot put with a 17.5-meter throw. Sophomore sprinter Sydney Wright finished third in the 100-meter sprint.
The Troy women's tennis team spent the last 2 weeks in the ITA national team rankings, but fell out of this week's rankings after not playing in over a week. The Trojans most recently played last Tuesday when they knocked off Eastern Kentucky 4-1 in Fort Walton Beach, Florida. The Trojans have won 4 of their last 5 matches, a stretch that started with a 5-2 win over UAB nearly a month ago in Troy's last home match. The Trojans bright and early this morning beat Appalachian State in a 4-1 victory. The tennis team is now 10-4 on the season. So to come on Trojan Sports Now, we'll have a preview of the Trojans baseball team's upcoming match this Easter weekend against Little Rock.
But first, Ryan Renfro sits down with softball center fielder sophomore Carly Kaler, who had a pretty impressive weekend. Stick around for more Trojan Sports Now.